Hello, I'm Vince Pizzat, and today we're going to be rebuilding a Surefire Deadman handle. Make sure you have the handle that is rebuildable. The solid black units are not rebuildable. So let's get into our rebuild kit here. You have a new switch, a new cord, and a schematic on how the whole thing breaks down. So if we open up our new handle, or used handle in the field, you're going to notice when you pull this top cap off, it is filled full of silicone and almost impossible to get to the wires. So we are going to chip away the silicone just enough so we can push the switch out. There are two screws that I've already taken out, square head screws, and they go in these two holes here. And what that does is loosens up our cord. And from there, we're going to turn the handle over and we're going to unscrew the rubber grommet that holds the switch in place. And from there, we should be able to have a loose cord and start working it and push the plug itself and the whole entire assembly back out of the top. Now this is where it gets really important to pay attention to what wires go where and how the switch is oriented in the handle itself. So we know that in this particular unit, the writing on the side of the switch was on the same size as our two screws. So what we're going to do is we're going to take off the plug and we're going to pull the whole cord right out of the unit. And set the unit off to the side, and we're going to wire in our new plug the exact same way that this one was wired in. So if we go to our new plug, we see that here's the writing side. We never unhook this one, so we still have a schematic to go off of. And from the looks, we have white, black, and then red from left to right. Let's take our screwdriver. Loosen up white. Again, we're going to double check. Black is the center post. Loosen that one up. It's quite tricky to get it all started because the wires have old memory. Okay, we got that. Now we're going to move to our red terminal. Check and make sure all the screws are tight, positioned correctly. Sometimes when you go to put them back in the body housing is actually in the way, so you got to make sure that your terminals are facing the right direction. Okay, so from there we're going to take the old body. We know that the writing on the side of the plug, I don't know if you guys can see that, but in person you definitely can. We're going to take off the rubber boot. We know the screws are oriented on that side, so let's go ahead and shove the wire through the side hole. So there's two holes, one that comes out the back and one for the plug or the switch. Let's get this oriented properly. Writing on the right side. So we're going to pull the housing back through and work it all through. And you'll notice here that you have to align it. Get everything aligned. All right, so now we have it in the right position. We're going to pull the plug and cord and take up all the access wire that we have there. Now we're going to take a rubber boot and we're going to simply screw it on. And this is what holds the switch in place. You may have to work it a little bit to ensure that your switch is actually straight. Get that good and tightened up. From there, we're going to put our two screws back into place. There we go, here and here, and we would tighten those up before we put our top cap on. So it's up to the customer if they want to fill it back full of silicone. I would suggest it if it's a grit application or any kind of shot application. And just for good housekeeping measures, it keeps all the dust and everything away from the terminals and really helps the switch life. So you would fill this full of silicone, screw on your cap, make sure the 2 screws were in and tight, and there you have it. It's that easy. Hope this helps you in the field. Thanks for tuning in.